I want to talk a few bits of transfer news and activity that are going on today. And Will, I want to come to you on this first bit because there's a report that's come out from Spain that says that Real Madrid and Xabi Alonso are open to selling Rodrygo this summer, and they will not stand in his way if a suitable offer is made. We've seen that he's not started the last 3 matches. Arsenal were seemingly poised to make a move. What's your view as a Madrid fan, and how do you think Arsenal are poised to make? Do you think Arsenal are poised to make that move, and do you think it will happen?
Yeah, I always said that Rodrygo was leaving this summer. I didn't really care what Xabi Alonso said. He came out in the press conferences and he said that Rodrygo is an important player for us, etc. Actions speak louder than words, and the actions tell me that Rodrygo is not an important player for us. He's basically been dropped for Arda Güler. Because now we're not playing with wingers per se. It's more like a 3-5-2. And Arda now drops into that midfield, and he brings that control that we were lacking when it was Tchouaméni, Jude, and Valverde. So we look a lot more fluid with Arda in the 11. We've actually been playing some really good football. We've been cooking underneath Xabi Alonso, in my opinion. It's such a dramatic improvement to the no tactics underneath Carlo Ancelotti. Now, as far as Rodrygo is concerned, I don't want him to leave. He's my favorite player at the club, the Mumbai Neymar. But these things happen. You know what I'm saying? So whoever he ends up going to is going to be a fantastic signing for them. I think Arsenal, that would be a signing that shows me of their intent. I think a lot of people are having a go at Arsenal right now for bringing in like Norgard VPN, also Kepa coming in as a number 2 goalkeeper. So if you go and bring in a guy like Rodrygo, that's a signing that tells me, yeah, we're trying to win the league. We're not messing around. We're going for it. I think Arsenal do need to move very quickly, though, because I think like once it kind of becomes more clear that Rodrygo is available, I think a lot of other clubs will come in for him. The left wing market is trash. I think he's the best one that's available. And I think there's another club that needs him that I think will come in, and that's Bayern. And I feel like that could be a big issue for Arsenal if Bayern come in because they need a left winger as well. So, yeah, if I was Arsenal, I would be trying to get this deal done.
Martinelli.
I was going to say, do you not think Liverpool could go in for him if Diaz goes?
I mean, they could come in for him, but
they've been like a fan of Rodrygo for like Liverpool, 2 years.
Well, but I haven't seen like Liverpool get linked with wingers as much as like I've seen them get linked with like trying to find a striker, for example, with like Isaac, like Ekatike. I think they've also been linked to like Osimhen this week as well. So, but I feel like if it's the Premier League, it does seem like it's going to be Arsenal. But I do think because how bad the left wing market is, then yeah, there's gonna be a lot of clubs that come in for him.
Look, well, first of all, Norgard VPN is diabolical. How dare you? Absolutely diabolical. But yeah, what I would say is the reality is a Rodrygo signing gets me to start talking again because I purposely not really talked about Norgard and Kepa and stuff because if they get me Rodrygo, to be honest, I can even close my eyes and take Ollie Watkins as a 9. Oh, that's a bit extreme, but you get what I'm saying. Like that can kind of create like a sugar coating of everything else that goes on this summer. I don't really mind if we get Gyökeres or Sesko if we get Rodrygo in because he's just so much of a level raiser when it comes to that left side. And Bayern need a left winger. We got an incredible winger called Martin Ellis from Romford that plays on the left for Arsenal. So if Bayern Munich need a left winger, we got Martinelli there ready to take that role. So Rodrygo to Arsenal, Martinelli to Bayern Munich, then everyone's happy at the end of the day. I think, as I said, this World Club Cup was going to be a defining factor whether he actually moves. And what Xavi's told him is that I don't need you. If you stay, I'll probably use you as a backup on your favorite side, which is the left side. But at the end of the day, I don't need you, and I've got enough in my team to without you. So he's got to make the decision. Does he care about being a top player? Does he care about being the starting left winger for Brazil in the World Cup? Does he care about maybe challenging for a Ballon d'Or? Like, does he care about all these things? If so, he definitely moves. And if he does move, considering how much we've been in admiration of him all since like for the last few months. I say he picks us, but again, just like Will said, you never know because of the way the market.
Do you think you get Rodrygo and if Martinelli stays, or do you think he's got to
go? It sounds like we're gonna get rid of one of them because what it sounds like is that we're trying to bring in Eze and a winger. And if that happens, then it's quite likely either Trossard or Martinelli goes. I don't mind either. Dumb and Dumber, either of them can go for me. So you can take them both if I'm honest, but we're only going to get rid. I definitely think we'll get rid of one.
Yeah, I mean, you know what's crazy, Kunle? I actually hope that Rodrygo doesn't mind coming off the bench. I mean, like for his personal growth, I don't think, and I've said this multiple times for like the last few years, I said we'll never see the best version of Rodrygo at Real Madrid because he's always going to have to play second fiddle. He's always going to have to sacrifice what he wants to do because he is lower in the pecking order with the attack. Like he's behind Vinicius, he's behind Mbappe, he's behind Jude as well to some extent. So, you know, I think if I was Rodrygo, it just comes down to what do you want to do in terms of, yeah, you might downgrade in terms of the club, and that's not a dig, right? You know, if you're leaving Real Madrid, unless you're going to like
you
Barca,
had to say that, didn't you? But yeah,
no, I'm saying, but unless you're going to like a Barca or a Bayern, it's kind of a downgrade. But he's already won multiple UCLs. He's won every trophy that there is to win at the club level for us. Maybe he might be okay with sacrificing a bit of that to now get put in conversations that he's not a part of, right? He does want to be in the Ballon d'Or talks. He does want to be considered one of the best players in the world. He's not, again, it's just not going to happen at Real Madrid. So I think
it's a mistake if you sell Rodrygo. Do you think like it could turn out to cost you?
Say it again?
I said, do you think it will be a mistake if you sell Rodrygo? Do you think you'll be looking at it 2-3 years down the line and thinking, oh, we shouldn't have done that?
Well, you know what it is. So, like hindsight's 2020. Look at, for example, Hakimi, right? He's from the academy. He broke through. He's one of the best right backs in the world. We sold him because he was just going to always be back up to Danny Carvajal. So it's like, it's kind of like wrong. So it's kind of like a right player, but like wrong time kind of situation.
Yeah, I think Henry. I think it's like, as a right winger, there's a lot better that Real Madrid can do as a right winger.
And we signed Franco.
If they were playing him on the left, then maybe it'd be a bit different. But the fact that he's he's playing on the right.
Nah, so what it'll be is, right, Rodrygo will end up leaving, ends up Arsenal, Bayern, whoever. He'll be world class. He'll cook. Then people will say Madrid are idiots for selling him because nobody really cares about the context of why he was sold, right? Yeah. He's not going to be able to be on the left wing. But nah, I think like we'll be fine. It's like I just said, we signed that kid Franco Mastuano from River Plate. He's a right winger /10.
Who's the guy you're playing up front? The young Spanish guy who's like scoring.
Gonzalo Garcia. He's been phenomenal.
From the academy as well.
Yeah, he's from the academy. He's been phenomenal this club.
That header the other night.
Has he been lucky or is he actually good? Have you seen a bit of him beforehand?
Starting against Dortmund, like Gonzalo Garcia needs to be starting until further.
No, but Will, before this tournament, did you see a lot of him? Like I don't really heard too much about him.
Nah, so he scored the winner for us against Leganes in the Copa del Rey. Like he scored like a 93rd minute winner. But the thing is, Carlo tax. Carlo didn't trust the youth. Carlo wasted Arda Güler. Carlo wasted Endrick.
Disrespect he gets, by the way.
The way he talks him down is crazy.
Now look, Carlo's a legend, but the man has gotten away with a lot. Like Carlo needs 15 public lashings in the right in the town square for all of us to see. Yeah, he has to pay for his crimes. He has to pay. Last season was unacceptable, Kunle. It was unacceptable.
You allow him for the CV he has. You let him have that.
Nah, fair enough. Yeah, but not Carlo tax. Yeah. That's why you didn't see a lot of these players.
I think Arsenal got a great. Bayern Munich were definitely a threat to Arsenal getting him. But I like what you were saying, Kunle. I think for Arsenal, Eze, I think is going to happen no matter what. I think Eze is as. I mean, it's another one. It's another one for Spurs, isn't it? It's more Henry. Every time Henry says, "I know we're going to get that player," Semenyo, Mbeumo. He then said about Eze. Like Henry's got to stop predicting the outcome of. Like you've used up your luck, haven't you?
I'm not even going to chat about Kudus. Yeah. I'm just going to keep quiet.
Yeah, Why does your hair look like Ellen DeGeneres, bro? What's going on?
I don't know. I got out of the shower and it's just kind of all over the place.
Sorry. For me, I think Henry used up all of his prediction power when he predicted the correct result and correct score for the Europa League final because all the transfer predictions you make end up not happening. So that, look, I think Arsenal are going to get Eze. I think they've got a great chance. I think they've got a really, really good chance of landing Rodrygo as well. Bayern Munich will be a threat, but I can see a world where it happens. I certainly see him leaving Real Madrid. I think, as you said at the start, Will, actions speak louder than words, and he's not playing him. And when that rumor has been around since about March that Alonso coming in is bad news for Rodrygo, but I think we all knew that because you guys were imbalanced last year, and you didn't have a proper right-sided player. And actually, so far at the Club World Cup, I know the competition hasn't been of the same level as La Liga or the Champions League, but your team looks more balanced. That's why your young number 9 is what's his name? Is it Gonzalez?
Gonzalo Garcia.
Yeah, that's why he is doing well as a striker, because there's balance on both sides, and there's still a long way for that to go. And I actually think Trent, barring the opening 10 minutes of his first game, I thought it started to look like the Trent we saw at Liverpool. So yeah, I think Rodrygo will go. Arsenal got a brilliant chance of getting him, but they land him and Eze, plus they're guaranteed to get a number 9. Yeah, Kunle's going to be back on here with chest for days, like Jordan, Katie Price level
topless.
chest.
I'll be on there topless, mate. Fully.
You're gonna be moving like Sydney Sweeney, Kunle. Huh? Nah, I said you're gonna be moving like Sydney Sweeney.
Hey, definitely, mate. Definitely.
Viewers, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you are subscribing to the Football Terrace as well. Thank you, Michael, for becoming a new member of the Terrace. That means a great deal to us, my friend. Thank you. Luke Skywalker here says RIP Jota. Thank you, Luke. He also encourages everybody to get that like button smashed.